Good morning, friends. Hi. Today we are going to discuss the most discussed and the topic which confuses a lot to the aspirants of the PMI PMP examination, which is validated and verified deliverables. Now here I have come up with a flow chart and a flow diagram how these two terms, how the validated deliverables and verified deliverables are interrelated within the processes and process groups. So here two process groups, one is your execution phase and one is your monitoring and control process group. These two process groups are involved. Apart from this, three processes, which is your quality assurance, your quality control, your validate scope. These three processes are being involved in this. So let's go through this flow diagram. Now in the direct and managed project work. So in direct and managed project work group process group, we know that implementation team is working continuously on the deliverables of the project to create some deliverables, to create some product. Now what happens in this? It is in the execution phase. There is a quality assurance process. Now in quality assurance process, auditing is being done. Now what we are doing in this auditing, we are not auditing the product, we are not auditing the quality of the product, we are auditing the processes, that are we following the processes right or not, like the steps, are we following it in a correct way or not. We are not focused on right now on the delivery or on the product quality. We are just concerned here in this quality assurance that processes are being followed in a correct order or not, correct manner or not. Okay, now after this, after the execution phase, direct and managed project work, your implementation team, development team gives you a deliverable product, gives you a product. Now what you will do, if I am a developer, if I am an implementation team member, what I will do, I cannot just directly develop, write a code and just submit it. I need to verify it, that whatever I have written a code, whatever I have done the work, is it meeting the specification requirements? Is it meeting the requirement traceability matrix? Is the features mentioned in the requirement traceability matrix, my product is falling in line with them or not? Do I have developed what was expected? So I will submit it to the control quality people team, or I could perform this activity also, which comes under monitoring and control. So now this is an internal team, this is an inspection, nothing else. We are just inspecting it, that okay, this was the list, this was the requirement, and this is what we have developed. Are we, from according to me, according to us, are we going in a right direction or not? So till now what we have done in quality assurance, we have checked that we have followed the right process. Now what was the process? We are using the Git tool, we should use the process control tool, we should use the version controlling tool, we should use the testing tool or not, Selenium tool or not, are we using the licensed software or not, are we following the proper processes mentioned in the by the PMO organization or not, or the development tower or not. So the processes has been checked in quality assurance. Here in the quality control, we have checked, okay, the product is meeting the requirement or not. Now till these things, till from here to here, this is known as the cost of conformance. It is also a different topic, but in short, what is cost of conformance? Cost of conformance is cost involved to prevent your defect, to prevent your any failure in the project, to prevent the things. This is your cost of conformance, which every project manager has to think about it, has to invest about it. Now, if my control quality team finds it that the product is okay, now if it is okay, it is further now that deliverables are known as verified deliverables. If it is not okay, then they are again returned back to your execution team. Now, but if your quality control team find it's okay, they are known as verified deliverables. Yes, internally we have verified the deliverables. Now what happens? Now again, next process, which is in the scope management process in the chapter, monitoring and control, validated scope process. Now these verified deliverables are submitted into the validate scope, acts as an input for the validate scope. Now this validate scope, what happens in this? What happens is these verified deliverables are submitted to your customer. Now customer will check, like, this was my requirement I have given, now it is working as per my business needs or not, is it working as per my functional needs or not. Okay, now what it is, if customer finds it okay, they will be termed as validated deliverables. I am again marking it as validated deliverables. This is what we are discussing here, your verified deliverables, your validated deliverables. So verified deliverables, the product deliverables verified by our internal team, validated deliverables checked by our customer, accepted by our customer. Now if the customer find it is not okay, it is again returned back to your execution team or the development team. So now if at the time of verifying our product or at the time of validating our product, if we find the failure, if we find no, this is not correct, we have expected, we want the width of 19.1 centimeter, but it is more than 19, but it is less than 19.1. We have requested for the accuracy of 19.9999%, but we found it to be 99.9% only. So see, it is again a rough order of magnitude type of thing, like what is the acceptance of it. But if we didn't find the acceptance, whether here or here, it needs to be repaired. Again the lot will send back, it will be scrapped, or if it can be repaired, then we can repair it. It depends on the terms and conditions. We are in agreement with our client. But if it is the case, we have to do the rework, we have to invest some cost, we have to invest some time. So now the cost involved in the repair, in the correction of the things, so that cost is known as cost of non-conformance. So here one more thing is that cost of conformance you always have to apply. You always take care of it, that you will seek that you are investing in cost of conformance directly or indirectly. But cost of non-conformance is an additional overhead. If we are not following the proper process, if we are not doing our auditing, if we are not doing our auditing well, then it can lead to your cost of non-conformance. It is an additional cost because we are repairing it. We have not developed the product right way, so we need to repair it. So this is the additional cost of non-conformance. Now once you are validated, you have your validated deliverables, you have your accepted deliverables in place, they are further moved to close project or phase, and finally we get the final product or service of the project. Now, so this is this workflow chart which I have devised. The main thing here in notice is that I have interlinked processes, process groups. So these are all the inputs and outputs to one of each others of the processes. So ITTOs is not something you need to learn. ITTOs you can never learn, input output tools and techniques. But if you have an understanding of your various processes, your chapters in such a manner that you can correlate the things and devise the things on your own, for which will help you out. Now second point is this. Now the question will revolve around this only. Situational question, that in the validate scope, customer rejected the product and it is again moved to the it is again being discussed with the implementation team that have you verified the deliverables in the right way or not. So if you do not have the idea that in validate scope the output would be validated scope, validated deliverables, you won't be able to relate the thing. So here main focus is on the correlation of the things. I was getting lot of queries, like there are case studies, blogs being written for validated and verified deliverables. So I hope that this clarifies the confusion, this clarifies the dilemma, and I hope that it will help you to understand the concept and to answer your situational questions. You can mention in the comments in case of any query on this video. You can reach out to me on vap.gupta1@gmail.com, or you can WhatsApp me on my number, which is 8882408630. And in case of any other topics you are facing difficulties, you can reach me out, you can mention in the comment boxes, so I can prepare and help you out for all these things. Thank you and have a nice day.